Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here. Grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a like, leave me a comment, and by all means, share it with somebody who might get something out of it. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for being here today, guys. I love each and every one of you. You know that. Yeah, guys. It's I'm still home on bed rest. It's funny. I woke up this morning and progression, man. I'm doing so much better. I've still got to be honest. I'd love to say I'm back to work tomorrow, but it's gonna be probably most of this week. I won't be doing much of anything, to be honest with you. This morning I did get up and go supervise some work, and it's great. And that's the thing today, guys, because of everything that I'm doing, because everybody knows my situation, and because I'm so open and upfront with people. The reception that I get is constantly shocking. I had a few customers reach out that offered me some light duty work that just Doug giving me some administrative work, people going me and asking me to go and look at jobs, and getting paid service fees to go just diagnose stuff because people know I can't work and they want to see me continue to do well, and that's amazing today, guys. Like these, the encouragement that I get is allowing me to live with a freedom I have never known, and that is what we're going to talk about today, guys. Freedom, the type of freedom that comes from being free of chains, free of addiction, free of alcoholism, free from the grip of active addiction and alcoholism. Um, had I allowed them to medicate me, and again, guys, if you're in an emergency surgical situation and you need something for pain, by all means, take, but just be careful with it. I don't want to sit here and try and say, hey, I didn't use them, nobody should ever use them, because that's not always the case, guys. There are always going to be different situations. But make sure you're doing it for the right reason. Have that internal conversation with yourself. And that was one thing that, like, the most freeing thing, and the reason I want to talk about freedom today, guys, is the freedom that I feel from addiction today. I showed myself, and guys, I didn't go in there and pre-plan any of this. It's not the way my brain works. I was so preoccupied with what was wrong with me, I hadn't started thinking of the next step yet. But then I get in there and realize I'm about to have surgery, and that's when it crossed my mind. It scared the living shit out of me. I said, no, this can't be. This can't be where I'm going to be put on medication because I'm going to need to have it. And I could just see myself with that script running out 2 days, early, and thinking, what am I gonna do? And guys, that was terrifying to me, right? Because I've been there so many times, guys. I've been down that road, and my entire life goes right down the tubes with it, and it made me understand right then and there in that moment, without even consciously thinking about it, I had made a decision subconsciously to myself that no, I was not going to allow that door to open for me, and I could handle the temporary pain, and I did, and honestly, it only got better. Like the actual pain of the burst appendix was worse than any of the post-surgical pain that I've dealt with. Yesterday was pretty bad. It was pretty uncomfortable yesterday, but even then I was very upbeat and very happy. It was hard to move. I mean, and I couldn't take. I was trying to take as much as they prescribed me for Motrin and Tylenol, but again, it was just too much. So again, it's one thing, guys, if it's if you're given medication that your body needs, or something that you have to take on a schedule, or an antibiotic or something of that nature, then by all means do it by medical recommendations. Do things the proper way. But when it comes to comfort meds, things like aspirin, and for me, I won't take anything beyond that at this point, and I love that. I try not to take that if I can avoid it. Um, but I'm perfectly happy. I'm just that much more confident in the fact that my pain-seeking days are behind me. I didn't try and keep up with as much of the time, because as soon as I started taking it, I'm like, whoa, my stomach feels off. Like I can't eat. I have no appetite, and I want to start eating again. I don't want to, I don't want to not be eating. I don't want to start losing the weight that I've put on. I don't want. Granted, my stomach could use a little, but that's okay. I want to remain on the track that I'm on. So I tailored back the aspirin, and I found a regimen. And then by doing so, last night I was able to start eating solid food again. Just so far today, I've eaten. I'm looking forward to actually cooking a nice dinner tonight, and I actually have an appetite to eat that. And that's allowing me to take the Motrin and Tylenol together as needed, And I'm trying to stay a little ahead of the schedule, but I'm doing it by my schedule, what I'm seeing that my body needs. Because again, it's freedom, guys. I'm no longer at the behest of a drug. I'm no longer owned by a substance. I am no longer owned by a drug dealer. I'm no longer owned by somebody that is offering me a little bit of money to keep me on the hooks because they know that I need it on a regular basis to go out and get my drugs. And the freedom that has come from that, guys, has allowed me to save thousands and thousands of dollars so that I can invest in property. And the freedom I have today is that I have the time off. I don't have to call. I don't have to call a boss and say I have a medical note. I can take the time off. I just tell my customers, sorry, I can't do that. And most of already, and it's the beauty of it, guys. Most of my customers have already heard what's going on because we're all one big family anyway, and they're reaching out and letting me know. I had actually somebody call me this afternoon, wanted me to go and look at a plumbing issue at a building I used to do work in that they sold, and there's a new owner there, and they were having issues, and we stolen the farm. My friend still owns a flower shop in the building, so they come down, knocked on the flower shop, and said something about plumbing issue. So I went over and checked it out, and it was actually just a washer and a shower valve. So the woman had shut the water off and was trying to do it herself, and kind of made a mess of it, and then she was waiting for a plumber. And I'm like, oh, I'm here now. I'm like, if you want me to take a look, I'll be happy to. So she said, oh, that'd be great. Invited me in. And it was a simple enough thing. It didn't require any heavy lifting, so I took care of it. Now I've got a new customer out of it. She actually scheduled a ton of. She offered to pay me for it today, first of all, and I just made a joke of that and said, no, I'm good. I'm home on surgical bed rest. If I allow you to pay me, then I'm breaking the doctor's orders and I'm working. So we'll just call this one good. And I just did it to break the ice, and I let her know early on that, I'm recovering from surgery. I'm in the area. I'm just coming to take a look. Make sure you got no major problems, no running water or anything like that. And the lady was, she appreciated it so much. And ironically, she did offer me a drink. Would you like, can I get you a beer? I said, no, I don't drink either. And, thank you. I appreciate you very much. But she was impressed by me coming out and giving her a hand and my knowledge. And then she actually asked me if I worked for myself. I told her I did. And now she's a customer. She scheduled a whole bunch of work for next week. Guys, this next couple of weeks is going to be phenomenal after taking this week off. But again, this is what happens when you walk hand in hand with your higher power. God knows that in the back of my mind, I'm stressing not working this week, not because I need the money, but because I'm enjoying saving money at the rate that I am, and I don't want to start chipping into my savings. And again, it's perfectly fine. I don't mind spending money because I know there's plenty more coming in. But he's letting me know that because every single day, and it's only what, Wednesday? I'm losing track of days at this point, I think. Every day something further has come up to let me know, hey, you're going to be busy, or you're going to be busy, you're going to make plenty of money. And I'm making money. I mean, I was out working this morning, getting paid service calls to go and diagnose stuff. So it's amazing. Every concern I have is being met. Every need I have is being met. Every desire I have is being fulfilled, and every dream I've ever had is being given to me or surpassed in the most beautiful ways. There is a freedom that comes with sobriety when you do it the right way, guys. When you do it with your hand in God. When you do it to the absolute best of your ability. And that's all I've done, guys. It's nothing supernatural. What I'm doing is I'm challenging myself every day to be the best version of me I possibly can. To make the best decisions. To be introspective. To pay attention to what is going on around me. To pick up on all the little cues and all the little lessons and all the little patterns that I used to overlook and then get trapped in over and over again. Because it's one thing I did, guys, is I just repeated cycles. When I was getting introspective in rehab, trying to figure out why these things keep happening, why do I keep ending up in the same spots, that's what I started looking at, was patterns. Because that's what it's all about, is I was just cycling the same pattern over and over again. So by paying attention to them and doing so, talking to God, praying morning, noon, night, I just drop and pray throughout the day. And it's gotten to the point where I have my prayers that I do. And again, this is just I'm just sharing, not saying this is anything anybody has to do. But this is just, insight. It's working pretty incredibly well. But I'll start to say a prayer, and I'll just talk to God and say, listen, I notice I'm doing this, and if I'm seeing this correctly, please let me make a conscious, better decision next time. And I find when the situation comes up, I immediately, boom, nope, this is what we used to do. This is why we used to do this. This is what happens when we used to do this. Let's do this instead. And that's literally what's changed my life, guys. early on, I just, every time I had a thought, I changed it. Every time I had every time I had a natural instinct come up, I stopped and said, well, where's that lead? You know, these little things that I used to just overlook and just blow off have provided me a freedom from addiction, a freedom from enslavement. It's incredible, and each and every one of you can do this and so much more. Just pay attention to the surroundings around you. Be that best person I keep talking about. Guys. I got another follow-up call from Boston Medical Center today, and this was actually a surgical resident who was going through, and they asked, and I'm sure they do regular follow-ups, made sure that I made an appointment with my primary care physician, but it was apparently one of the people from the surgical team, and they're still talking about me back there. The kid that came in refusing pain meds walked out with a smile on his face, and I walked out so much quicker than anybody else. And guys, I'm healing faster and better because I'm not putting that junk into my body. And I feel amazingly well. And that's the thing, guys. Never mind the physical pain. If it's the pain is alleviating, my stomach's going back to normal. I'm being smart. Normally by now I'd be lifting something. Like, oh, my stomach's not terrible today. Let me pick something up and do some damage. But I'm not doing that either. I'm remaining patient. I'm paying attention to what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm studying. I'm actually reading about what happened. I'm reading a book about. I just picked up a new book. It's Living Good Daily. It's a 21-day workbook to experience real health. These are the things that I'm in today, guys. Like, my life is surrounded in personal development. My life is surrounded in positivity. It's surrounded in rewiring my brain in a positive way to expect abundance, to expect miracles in my daily life. And guys, I'm receiving them regularly. What you do determines what happens to you. How you think determines what you do. Where attention goes, energy flows, guys. I cannot say that enough. I will say that again. Where attention goes, energy flows. Think positive things. Expect good results. Instead of always wondering, and that's the thing, guys. I was always like, oh, if I do this, and not even, I just expected the worst to happen and just prepared myself for that. So therefore, I got exactly what I was preparing for. Today, I leave it open-ended and just expect miracles, and I receive miracles left and right. Like, a lot of people could look at that and say, oh, yeah, kid talk about, thinks he's a miracle magnet and his appendix just burst. Guys, that was the most beautiful thing that could happen. Nothing detrimental came out of it, and if anything, I came out with a confidence in my sobriety, with knowing full well that for once in my life, I will advocate for myself to be heard. I will be heard. I will be seen. I will stand out in that situation like I do every other situation. And it will go incredibly well, and I will walk away with my sobriety intact, with a newfound confidence and a newfound strength and a newfound self-respect that I've never had for myself. Everything is happening for my highest good because I'm finding the lesson in the worst of it. And again, the worst of my worst days today is still 1,000 times better than my best days before. And I'm incredibly grateful for that, guys. Never mind the community, right? That's the biggest blessing that's come out of this, guys. I'm literally just getting up from a nap because I was up at 6 o'clock this morning. I'm just running around, and I'm not that I was in any pain, but I'm healing. So I came back and I was doing some work, some online class work for my classes that I'm taking, and I got a little bit tired, so I went and I took a nap, and I woke up from my nap to 5 people checking on me. Hey, how you doing? Just seeing how you doing today. You need anything? So I'm just returning texts, and I've got a telephone visit scheduled for 5 o'clock with my my primary care physician, and I'm going in next week for my post-surgical visit. Guys, it's absolutely beautiful. I'm a part of something today. I'm a contributing member of society today, and that's something I hadn't been for so long, and I absolutely love it. Life is so incredibly blessed, but the biggest point is, guys, it's the freedom that comes with making good decisions. It's the freedom that comes to being the best version of me I possibly can. The freedom that comes by sticking to my obligations, standing in my convictions, right? And standing on my word. Doing the things I say I'm going to do is the most freeing thing I've ever found. I would think back in the old days, I would have thought, no, God, then you got to, no, man, it's the freedom that comes from loving who I am. because now I'm putting all this beautiful energy into myself, and that's exactly what's being magnified out into the world and therefore being drawn into my existence. And it's absolutely beautiful. Guys, I couldn't be happier. I couldn't appreciate each and every one of you more than you possibly know. I'm one grateful, recovering man today. Simple as that. Guys, God loves you. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you in the next one.